Let us read the third and final stanza of Tennyson's Ulysses. There lies the port. The vessel puffs her sail. There gloom the dark broad seas. My mariners, souls that have toiled and wrought and thought with me, that ever with a frolic welcome took the thunder and the sunshine, and opposed free hearts, free foreheads. You and I are old. Old age hath yet his honour and his toil. Death closes all. But something ere the end. Some work of noble note may yet be done. Not unbecoming men that strove with gods. The lights begin to twinkle from the rocks. The long day wanes. The slow moon climbs. The deep moans round with many voices. Come, my friends, 'tis not too late to seek a newer world. Push off, and sitting well in order, smite the sounding furrows. For my purpose holds to sail beyond the sunset and the baths of all the western stars until I die. It may be that the gulfs will wash us down. It may be that we shall touch the happy isles and see the great Achilles whom we knew. Though much is taken, much abides. And though we are not now that strength which in old days moved earth and heaven, that which we are, we are. One equal temper of heroic hearts, made weak by time and fate, but strong in will, to strive, to seek, to find, and not to yield. The lure of the sea, of another journey, is calling Ulysses again. And in these lines, Ulysses is addressing his mariners. He is trying to motivate them. He is trying to prepare them to join him on a new journey beyond the sunset, to seek and find and not to yield. He looks at the port. He sees his ships standing there. And he says, there lies the port. The port, the seaport. The vessel, the ship, puffs her sail. That is, the ship fills her sail with air. That is, it is ready to depart. There gloom the dark, broad sea. The dark, gloomy, broad sea appears to be calling to him, calling him to embark on a journey in search of a newer world. He calls out to his sailors, men who have toiled and worked hard with him, souls that have toiled and wrought and thought with me. He calls out to them, to his mariners who have worked extremely hard, incessantly and passionately with him, who have braved the storms with him, who have seen happy times with him, the sunshine. And he says that they have seen all this, they've experienced all this joyously, sportively, faced the dangers boldly in the spirit of free, self-reliant men. He realizes that they are all old and says, you and I are old. But, he says, old age hath yet his honours and his toil. He's saying with conviction that old age is no excuse to sit and do nothing. Life can still be lived. Useful work can still be done. It is only death that will put a stop to all activity, all effort, all dreams and ambitions. He says, death closes all, but something era the end. He's trying to motivate them, to inspire them, telling them that yes, they may be old, that death may be round the corner, but before they succumb, they should do something worthwhile. Something era the end. Some work of noble note may yet be done. He tries to persuade them by recalling their valor on the battlefield when they strove with the gods. The Trojan War was a war where the gods took sides. They strove with gods means men who struggled with them, alongside them and against them. But the stress here is on the courage and the companionship. The next 3 lines convey beautifully the pull that Ulysses experiences when he says, the lights begin to twinkle from the rocks, the long day wanes, the slow moon climbs, the deep moans round and with many voices. As if all these elements, the lights, the long day, the slow moon, the deep moans, all of these voices, all of these elements of nature have a personality, have a voice that is inviting him to set out on a journey before it is too late. He is urging his companions that it is never too late to go in search of new land. Come, my friends, 'tis not too late to seek a newer world. He's trying to fire them up, push off, and sitting well in order, smite the sounding furrows. That is, use your oars to sail the ship and hit out at the waves to form the furrows that will help the ship move forward in the dark, broad seas. To sail beyond the sunset and the baths of all the western stars. To sail beyond the sunset, that is, to discover the utmost bounds of human knowledge, to go in search of adventures beyond the limits of the horizon in the dark, troubled sea of life. The baths of all the western stars refers to the outer ocean that the Greeks believed surrounded the flat earth. The thought that the stars descended into it. He says that is the purpose of his life. To keep on traveling until he dies. In the next few lines, he talks about the challenges, the dangers, and also the rewards that their voyage, their effort might bring to them. He says, it may be that the gulfs will wash us down. It may be we shall touch the happy isles and see the great Achilles whom we knew. That is, they might sink, they might drown, or they or they may end up on the Happy Isles. Happy Isles? The islands of the blessed in Greek mythology, abode of the gods, heaven, the place where the virtuous go after death, and where, he says, they can meet Achilles once again, the greatest of the Greek warriors, the hero of Homer's Iliad, who was the leader of the Trojans, who killed Hector and was eventually himself killed. He further says, though much is taken, much abides. And though we are not now that strength which in old days moved earth and heaven, that which we are, we are. One equal temper of heroic hearts, made weak by time and fate, but strong in will, to strive, to seek, to find, and not to yield. Ulysses yet again tells us that even though he and his sailors are old, and even though they don't have the same strength that they had in their youth, when they strove with gods and performed great deeds, yet he confidently asserts that there's still enough vigor in them to go a little farther. Abides means remains. He indicates that they are still all equally heroic. They may be old and broken by time and fate, yet they are strong in will and are ready and determined to push onward relentlessly, to strive, to seek, to find, and not to yield. This last line is very well constructed and is often quoted as containing the essence of the whole poem. Tennyson's Ulysses reflects the Victorian desire to reach beyond the limits of one's knowledge, to push ahead with vigor and strength of will, no matter how old or weak our bodies are. It is the search for adventure, experience, and meaning which makes life worth living. And Tennyson, in this poem, uses Ulysses as the old adventurer, unwilling to accept the settling of old age, longing for one more quest. And he also wrote this in the memory of his friend Arthur Hallam. I'll stop here. Do go through all the videos of the poem, and I will come up with one more in which we'll talk about the theme and the literary devices used by the poet. Good day.